I want to talk about Dario Amodei and Anthropic today. Dario gave a fairly significant speech about AI at the Davos Summit in Switzerland. And to me, it read like Anthropic is in a little bit of a difficult situation. So I want to unpack the speech. I want to talk about my analysis of it. And if you think unpacking a speech is boring, I got to say, these are major model makers, and what they say shapes the world that we all live in. So I don't think it's that boring. Number one, he said 1 million GPUs for Anthropic by 2026. If you think 1 million is a lot, it is a lot. Not that many models are even trained at over 100,000 GPUs right now. So claiming 1 million is a big number. The problem is the timing. 2026 is a long way away. If you think about it, the end of 2026 is 2 years away. He's leaving himself a lot of room there, and he's making no promises in between. If you look at like his claims on intelligence, it's sort of, I know this sounds silly. Like it's the same old stuff. Human level intelligence by about 2027. That's about what a lot of people are saying. I think that OpenAI AI on average is a little bit more optimistic at this point. But regardless, it's coming soon. It's a big deal. I think as weird as it is, we're all getting used to that idea. And then if you bring in the timeline, if you come closer to the present, he only makes 3 real statements. One is that voice mode is coming for Claude. Well, that's not new. Gemini has voice mode. OpenAI has voice mode. And Claude has been living off of 2 things for people who like Claude. One is the ability to code well, which is why it's the default for Cursor. And one is this weird sort of intuition that it has when you talk to it and you chat with it. I don't quite know what it is, but I find Claude more intuitive than any other model I talk to. But that doesn't make it better at reasoning. And he doesn't have a reasoning model. And reasoning is where the cutting edge is right now. And so you might think, well, maybe he talked about reasoning. And he didn't really. He just said a quote unquote smarter model is going to be released in the coming months, which again, months is a long time in this world. We're used to a world where new models drop almost every week. And so I read that and I think to myself, he's under a lot of pressure. DeepThink got released with extremely good coding just yesterday. O3 Mini, also supposed to be extremely good and extremely fast at coding, is coming out in the next week or so. And the best he can do is a smarter model in the coming months. He's under a lot of pressure. I do wonder if the demand for Claude right now from Cursor is keeping Anthropic from releasing a new model because they don't have the compute to actually offer the model at scale. It's a guess, but it's not an unreasonable guess. Now, the ironic thing is developers are not particularly loyal to models. And so if indeed they think that DeepThink is going to do a better job coding or O3 Mini will do a better job coding, they'll switch. They'll switch, and that will ease the pressure on Anthropic, and then Anthropic will have more space to release, but will also be even further behind, which is sort of my overall takeaway. At the end of the day, this is a CEO who is having to make a speech because he has nothing substantive to release. And that is a problem. In this world with the model makers, that is a big problem. Grok 3 is coming. O3 full is coming and looks like it will now be released before they do anything at this pace. Anthropic is in trouble a little bit. So we'll see where they end up, but I'm a little bit worried. Cheers.